Hey guys, what is up? Plastic Guy here, coming back with another video where today we're going to be taking a closer look at my Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie figures. So on the channel we've taken a look at a lot of Spider-Man figures, mostly Tobey Maguire movie figures, a couple Tom Holland, but I generally don't think we've ever taken a proper look at my Andrew Garfield figures, and I love the Amazing Spider-Man movies. The Amazing Spider-Man 1 is one of my favourite costumes of all time. It's a great movie, but it's definitely not one of my favourites, and then that goes for the Amazing Spider-Man 2 as well. But the standout thing of those movies is 100% Andrew Garfield's acting. I think he's amazing. I love him as Peter Parker. He's not my favourite, Tobey Maguire is my favourite, but see, to be honest, I love all the Peter Parkers and all the actors that portray them pretty much around the same level. So today we're going to finally take a closer look at the Amazing Spider-Man movie figures. Let me know what you guys think of the Amazing Spider-Man movies down in the comments section below, and while you're down there guys, if you could do me a massive favour, hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as well. Let's not wait any longer, let's swing right into the video and take a closer look at these movie figures. And here are my Andrew Garfield figures, and yeah, I only have 4, unfortunately. I definitely have way more Tobey Maguire and way more Tom Holland figures, but I really do like these figures here. I was about 12 when the first Amazing Spider-Man film came out, and I wasn't really like full-blown like collecting figures then. I mean, I didn't have a job, didn't have much money or that at all, so I would only get the odd figure here and there. And I remember this guy, the Diamond Select, Marvel Select, was the first one that I seen, and I instantly fell in love with it. I knew I had to get it, and thankfully my dad did order it for me, and I managed to get him, and I've loved him ever since. And then I saw the Marvel Legends after, and I wasn't really familiar with Marvel Legends at this point. I definitely knew more about Marvel Select, and I had the odd Marvel Select figure, mostly Spider-Man figures. But when I saw the Marvel Legends, I was really intrigued, and I really wanted to pick this guy up. However, as I said, I was only 12, and I'd only really go to the city that had all the toy shops like once a month, at the most. So every time I went, I'd keep my eye out, but I never saw him, and basically I never managed to pick him up. The figure still seems to be pretty rare, like I do rarely see them pop up on eBay, and when I do, most of the time they're pretty expensive. But a year and a half ago, roughly, I managed to pick this guy up for under £20. I think he was maybe like £15-16, and grabbed him. And I think he'll be the one we take a look at first. We'll take a look at the Amazing Spider-Man movie figures and then the Amazing Spider-Man 2. As I said, this is the Marvel Legends version, and picked him up just like this on eBay, so I didn't get his whipping hands or anything. And he's alright. I'm not a massive fan of this figure at all. The sculpt is, like, the head sculpt's alright. There is just something, it looks a bit small maybe, it looks a bit weird to me. But yeah, it could be better in my opinion. The articulation isn't the best. Like, I think just the sculpt is a bit awkward on this guy, especially the legs. It's hard to really get him into good poses. I do like him for the most part. Get his logo lining up here. I mean, I love the suit. I love the Amazing Spider-Man suit. I know it's a bit of a polarizing suit. A lot of folk don't like it. A lot of folk hate it. I love it. It is one of my favourites. It's just that bit different. I really think it suits Andrew Garfield, and that's why I really wanted this figure, and I'm glad to have it. It just isn't the best. I do prefer the Marvel Select, and we'll talk about that in a wee second. I don't know, I just think it should be on a better sculpt, really. I mean, it still has the ball joints, the ball joints. This came out in 2012, so this was still like early Marvel Legends, really. And the rest of this wave wasn't that great either. I've spoke before, but my least favourite figure that I have is the Miles Morales, and that is from this wave. It is an awful figure, and I wouldn't say this is awful, but it's not great. Going back to like how rare this figure was, in America they released I think it was a Walmart exclusive, and it had the Andrew Garfield head sculpt, and it looks great. I really wish I had an Andrew Garfield head sculpt, because I don't have any for the Diamond Select or the Marvel Legends, and I wish that Hasbro would have just made it a more general release and just had the one figure with the Andrew Garfield head sculpt included instead of making it an exclusive. I guess that goes for most exclusives, to be honest. Yeah, decent figure. It definitely shows its age, and it could be a lot better, but I do like him. And then we have the Marvel Select, and as I said, I love this figure. I think he looks amazing. The suit looks tremendous on this sculpt that they've used. He is a bit too bulky for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in that film. I mean, look at these shoulders, they are huge. And it makes him look like an absolute tank, where Andrew Garfield was really more like skinny and slim. I mean, he was really slender, and that really came across when he was wearing the suit in the films. This does look like a muscly version of Andrew Garfield. The main thing I really don't like about this figure, and I say don't like, but the thing that's missing is the silver at the bottom of the shoes. If they put the silver in the bottom of these shoes, I mean, this figure would be absolutely complete. And that's something that the Marvel Legends did. I might genuinely go and put the silver on myself. I'm not too sure. I don't want to ruin the figure. But he is fantastic. He came with alternative hands, which I have somewhere. And once again, like, Marvel Select did the exact same thing. They did an alternative release that included the Andrew Garfield head sculpt, and it also had like the ungloved hands that you could interchange on. It's like, guys, just give us it all in one figure. It's just such a money grabbing technique that they keep doing, and just give us the, like, one release. We'll have Spider-Man, give us the Andrew Garfield head. It would be so much better. But the logo looks amazing on this. I love the raised webbing on this, and the paint on top of the raised webbing is fantastic. It runs throughout the whole figure, and then the texturing in the blue area, unreal. This is maybe one of my favourite Marvel Select figures, I'd say. And we've got the red one in the back. I love the back spider logo. I mean, I really like it. Maybe like the blue is a bit darker in the film as well. That's maybe something worth mentioning. It is pretty light on this figure, but yeah, let me know what you guys think of the yellow eyes down in the comment section. Personally, I don't really like it. I wish this suit was the exact same as it is, but with white eyes. I feel like it would look a lot better, but you know, what can you do? There also isn't much lenses around the eyes, I'm just noticing. Like, in the film there was definitely more of a lens. You could have included that, but it really doesn't take away from this figure. It is awesome. It's probably my favourite out of this whole lot, and I'm glad to have him in the collection here. And then next up, pretty much the same story as the first film. I saw the Diamond Select release. I keep on saying Diamond Select, I should really say Marvel Select release for this film, and instantly wanted to grab this guy. Never picked up this figure, and I had the opportunity to. I mean, I was a bit older at this point. I could go up to the city myself, and I'd go to the toy shops, and I saw him numerous times, but genuinely, most of the figures I saw in box would have awful paint application. Like the white in the eyes would be all scraped and rubbed, and it just didn't look good at all. And then on top of that, just genuinely, I didn't really like the overall look of the figure. I don't know why, but it just never really appealed to me, and yeah, I just decided I was going to stick to the Diamond Select. But then, same as the last time, about a year and a half ago, I was like, I kind of need the Marvel Legends. The thing about Marvel Select is they look great, the articulation's alright, but they do not scale well with Marvel Legends at all, and my main collection is Marvel Legends, so I really did want this movie figure in Marvel Legends form. Managed to pick him up dead cheap. Once again, I can't remember if he came with any alternative hands. I don't think he did. I think I picked him up just like this. And now I can honestly say, having him in hand, I much prefer this figure more than I did. I don't prefer him over the Diamond Select, but I do really like this figure now. Something that just doesn't look right to me is the butterfly joints. They really stick out. They look really weird. I've never seen like butterfly joints. Like, when it goes back the way, it doesn't look too bad, but yeah, they just look a bit lumpy. I don't know, it's a bit weird. The head sculpt doesn't really capture that look that Spider-Man had in the film either. I feel like it comes to a point too quickly. I don't know, it should maybe stick out a wee bit more. I don't know how to explain it, but it just doesn't really look too screen accurate, but the costume looks great. The costume looks really good. And the other thing is, when they released the prototype images of this figure, the figure had raised webbing, and the head sculpt looked different as well. It looked a really nice figure, and then when the actual figure got released, it didn't look anything like the pictures, and I kind of wonder why they did that. It must have been a cost thing, because the pictures looked amazing, and then the figure just didn't really deliver as much from the initial pictures that were released. I do really like that Spider-Man chest logo. I do like the sculpted webbing. I do wish it was filled in. Decent texturing going on in the blue area as well. I actually really like that. It's pretty subtle, but does the job. And this, a lot of folks say it would work well as a comic figure. You could fit this in to a comic collection pretty easily and you wouldn't really know the difference. And then just, the back logo of this suit is awesome. I love the back logo of this I just love this costume. I just wish it was a slight bit more screen accurate. And then we have the Marvel Select release, and yeah, I picked this up when the film came out, got him pretty much instantly, can't remember where from, but I pretty much opened him up and he's been out on display since then, and I've not really touched him. I've definitely taken pictures of him a couple times, but for the most part he's been out on my shelf, and when I took him down for this video I realised the blue is sort of fading a wee bit. There's some weird colours popping out through the blue, which is a bit strange because this guy's definitely not been exposed to sunlight or anything, but there's something going on with the blue paint on this figure now that man, I'm a bit gutted about. It doesn't look too bad on camera. In person it does look a bit odd. I just need to keep an eye on it. This figure is great. As I said, it looks the part. I really like the head sculpt on it. Once again, I feel like there is just a slight change that could be made that would make it look more screen accurate, but I feel like it looks better than the Marvel Legends. The annoying thing about this figure is the webbing didn't get filled in at the top of the head. I don't know what happened there. That was like this when it got out of the box. Really annoying, but oh well. The rest of the figure looks really good. Once again, that back logo in the suit captured really well. Front logo looks pretty good, although if you look at the Marvel Legends, the legs definitely run down longer, unless yeah, they're sculpted on and they run down longer, and then this one doesn't. I do really like this look though. I love this suit. Yeah, just typical Marvel Select. The articulation is decent. It's not as good as the Legends, really. You can't really get into as good poses. It doesn't scale well with my main collection, which is just a personal thing. Overall, this is a fantastic figure. Although I will say, if I remember correctly, I don't think it came with whipping hands. And I'm thinking, surely that's not right. But maybe it did and I just can't find them. It must have came with whipping hands. I can't remember. I'll try and find out. Yeah, this is definitely... I don't know. I don't want to say I prefer the Marvel Select releases. Let's take a look. Okay, yeah. So if I was to rank these figures... he's definitely my number one. He's my favourite. Personally, I really like the suit and I think Marvel Select have nailed it. The sculpt is awesome, the paint's really good, the articulation's pretty good, and even though I was saying Marvel Select normally don't really deliver on the articulation side as much as Marvel Legends, it's definitely better than this guy. I really struggle to get this guy into good poses and I have much more fun with this figure here. Second place is gonna be... I don't know, I think it's gonna be the other Marvel Select. Even though it's harder to pose him around compared to this Marvel Legends here, he does look amazing. He looks great. He looks a bit more screen accurate than the Marvel Legends. In fact, he probably looks a lot more screen accurate than the Marvel Legends. So yeah, he's going to take my number 2, then it's going to be this guy, and then it's going to be this guy. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I know there is a lot more Andrew Garfield figures out there, especially the Figma and Mafex figures. They look amazing. They look like fantastic figures, but I've just never really been too bothered to pay that amount of money for action figures, and I've much preferred the Marvel Select and Marvel Legends because the price points are just more what I'm willing to pay, and I feel like you get what you pay for, which is fair enough. If you get the Figma and the Mafex, they're going to be amazing figures. They're just not for me. Let me know if you have them. Let me know where they rank compared to these guys. Let me know if you disagree or agree with anything that I've said, what your ranking would be out of these 4. Let me know down in the comment section below. And while you're down there, guys, if you could do me a massive favour, hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button as well. I'll leave the link to my Instagram down in the description below, so feel free to hop on over there and check that out, and feel free to hop on over to the channel page and check out any of my other videos. There's plenty of Spider-Man up over there. And with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I'll catch yous on the flip-flop later. Cheers.